Blasting onto the local hot hatch scene in 2012, the Ford Focus ST is soon to be updated, and there's a hardcore RS version not far behind. So with that in mind, we've come here today to Sandown Raceway to take part in one of our Weekend Warrior track tests. Ford's replacement for the XR5 Turbo, the Focus ST, costs a little over 38 grand and comes with a super torquey turbocharged 2-litre engine with 184 kilowatts and 340 newton meters. Outside, it's highlighted by a large Honeycomb grille, these cool ST badges, a funky central exhaust pipe, and 18-inch alloy wheels wrapped in Goodyear Eagle F1 tyres. Inside, there are chunky Recaro bucket seats, more ST logos, and alloy pedal covers. Time for the fun stuff. Now, according to the spec sheet, peak power isn't until 5,000 RPM, but peak torque is accessible from as low as 2,000 RPM, and you can feel that as soon as you hit the circuit. Now, the Focus ST gets a sportier suspension tune compared to your normal Focus. Now, you can feel that it's a little bit more strapped down, but it's still quite rolly and very lively rear end on the thing. And at least on these opening laps, the brakes feel quite good underfoot. All Focus STs come exclusively with a 6-speed manual transmission. Now, that little noise you might have heard there was a little bit of wheel spin. And unlike cars like the Megane RS from Renault, Ford opted to not fit the Focus ST with a limited slip front differential, which means all that power and all that torque is just being hammered home to the front wheels without much help from anything. And on the straight here at Sandown, it's really not an issue at all, but you can feel coming out of the corners, there is a bit of torque steer and you get a bit of a chirp from the odd tyre or two. The steering's pretty good. The steering's quite responsive. There's not tons of feedback there, but it will tip in. And again, apart from a bit of a chirp of wheel spin, the combination and the package is actually quite good. Now, we've got our 3 gauges on the dash. We've got our oil temp, boost pressure, and also oil pressure. It's always good to keep an eye on things like that, particularly if you are doing some track day, and especially if it's a road car like this. So that red line's just shy of 7,000 RPM. That's all of third at 160 as we come down the main straight. Moves around a little bit. It's a little bit pogo stick, a little bit wobbly, but nothing too bad. The brakes are starting to get a little bit warm. Move the pedal a little bit further to the floor. But again, it is holding up quite well. That's 190, but I might look straight ahead for this bit. We'll tip in here. That's 4th. A little bit of motion. Hop down here. And again, those brakes just starting to get a little bit out of their comfort zone. But that engine noise is excellent too. You've got the induction sound coming straight into the cabin, and while you know it's done intentionally, it's kind of a good thing. It means that you can actually hear what's going on, and you can hear when those revs rise when you are getting a bit of wheel spin. Still cheaper than a Volkswagen Golf GTI and the Renault Megane RS, the Ford Focus ST remains a lively and gutsy little car, and it really impressed us out there on the circuit today. Sure, the tyres got a little bit warm and the brakes got a little bit smoky, but for an occasional track day blast, it's more than capable. Actually, I reckon we might go out for one more lap. I'm not mistaken, that is a RAV4, correct?
Yep.
Excellent.